The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus proposed a parable to the crowds. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, yet when full grown, it is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches. He spoke to them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of wheat flour until the whole batch was leavened. All these things Jesus spoke to the crowds in parables. He spoke to them only in parables to fulfill what had been said through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will announce what was laying hidden from the foundation of the world. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today our Lord does speak of parables, and I think this 13th chapter of Matthew, it's full of parables. He uses just a lot of parables there. There's images to convey his point. Our Lord doesn't always use parables. In this setting he did. It says that all these things Jesus spoke to the crowds in parables. But as we know, our Lord also teaches literally and by example, and we see that throughout his life. I just bring that up because what's on my mind today is kind of the notion of anger and how both our Lord handles anger and how other characters handle anger. Mainly because of the book of Exodus, our story when Moses was coming down to the mountains, from the mountain, he heard the sound of revelry, and it says, with that Moses' wrath flared up so that he threw the tablets down and broke them on the base of the mountain. I kind of wish he wouldn't have done that. Like, I wish he would have just okay, all right, I'm ticked. I'm not going to throw my cell phone against the wall. I'm just going to keep these tablets, but I'm still going to take care of business, So I just how do you handle anger well? Okay, we think of our Lord. He on 2 instances in the Gospels, I know when our Lord got angry. Most common is when Jesus, was perturbed, to say the least, about the money changers at the temple, and so he drove them out with the cord and turned over tables. The other was when on the Sabbath, there was a man with a withered hand, and the Pharisees were giving him, heck because he, is known to heal on the Sabbath. And so he says he looked around with anger at them for their unfaithfulness, and then he healed the man. So our Lord shows us that anger can be justified when it's in the face of an injustice. So money changers at the temple is an injustice. He took care of business. People not wanting to see somebody healed is an injustice. So our Lord acted against that. So I would say that the Israelites making a golden calf and dancing, around it, worshiping it, whatever, is an injustice. So there's a righteous anger towards that. But how do you correctly control it? I guess I don't know that Moses was virtuous in throwing down the tablets. I don't know. But I did look back too in the book of Exodus. In the same chapter 32, God's anger flared up right before this. So when God saw it first going on, and he said, hey, this people of mine go down the mountain. This people of mine has made this golden calf. He knew it before Moses did. And then he said to Moses, hey, I'm going to destroy this people. We're going to start fresh. And then Moses interceded and cooled down God's wrath, So anyway, all I'm saying, anger is a thing in our lives. How do we handle it well? First, anger is justified in the face of an injustice. It's not just us getting, worked up for whatever reason. It can be righteous when it fuels us to action. I mean, I think our Lord used that passion of anger to clean out the temple and to heal the man. I think we just got to be super careful in that, because our anger can flare up and we can throw our cell phone against the wall. So that's not a great response to anger. And I think what we got to do there is it's in our head. So like the saga is in our head, and then if we take the bait, it's like a runaway train, and we just start filling in the gaps with information we don't know. We create the story and it runs wild. That's when the cell phone goes against the wall. Okay, so what do we do? The idea, get out of that space, get out of your head. Don't think about that. Don't fuel that fire. Now I can be in a more calm, cool place where I still can take care of action. I can still be angry in a just way towards the situation, and I can act accordingly, but not out of wrath, we might say. So just highlighting that reality in our life. But I don't think we want to avoid throwing down the tablets, I think. And I think just a good way to do that is to not fuel the fire in my mind. Just back up as much as I can, and then just act in a reasonable fashion, whatever the scenario is. There still is the passion there that can cause us to act, but not out of wrath. So maybe that can help us to deal with that passion of anger, so that can be used in a justified way if it ever comes about, but more importantly, it can be used in a virtuous way.